After watching a show like this, Raw felt like a hangover. It's like eating pizza for a day and then getting back to your boiled egg diet. Only worse. I just want a bad Raw. Yes, I said bad Raw. My expectations dropped. I don't even want a good Raw anymore. I just want a Raw that is so bad at least there's something to talk about. Right now, it's just boring. And this week my expectations were absolutely shattered. I'm sure like most of you, I consider Jeff Hardy an absolute wrestling legend. Unique look, unique personality, unique moveset, just a legendary wrestler, a wrestling icon. You know what happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw? I had to pinch myself. I just saw Jeff Hardy chasing the 24/7 championship. A comedy championship, made for jobbers, for comedy segments. Jeff Hardy was there. I repeat, Jeff Hardy was chasing the 24/7 championship. I consider Jeff Hardy as one of the big names like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Edge, Christian. Why is he not getting the same treatment? I don't even think context matters right here, but we basically saw a 24/7 championship in which Reginald won, and we saw a bunch of jobbers attacking Reginald to get that 24/7 championship. And like I've said, one of these names was Jeff Hardy. It's crazy to me. WWE always seem to appreciate legends, or is it only wrestlers from the 90s who get that kind of respect? A lot of people don't care about guys like Goldberg anymore. I grew up watching Jeff Hardy. I would take Jeff Hardy over Goldberg in a WWE Championship match any day of the week. I just simply don't get this. The guy is clearly an all-time fan favorite. A former WWE champion, a former World Heavyweight champion, one of the most iconic tag teams in wrestling history. Just a wrestling icon, like I've said. To me, it's almost like watching Edge chasing the 24/7 championship. I know right now he's not getting the same kind of treatment, but that's exactly the problem. It's none of my business, but why is this man wasting his career in a place that doesn't respect him? And look, I'm not saying 24/7 championship is the ultimate disrespect. To some people, it's TV time. It's comedy, and to some wrestlers, it's absolutely perfect. For example, Drake Maverick made his return. I was very excited about that, and I can't wait to see the segment. It's gonna be funny. The difference is, Jeff Hardy is not one of these people. If you put someone like The Undertaker in these segments, John Cena, Randy Orton, Edge, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, anyone, it basically goes to show you that they lost hope on these superstars and now they treat them like jobbers. When it's R-Truth, Reginald, Maverick, it kind of makes sense because that's their shtick. That was really sad to see. But welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of Raw. Greatness. I mean, like I've said, it's like a hangover. You know, no response from the WWE, just business as usual, and the business is boring. The whole show was built on a tag team turmoil. The good thing is, it kinda opened my eyes that Raw tag team division is not good, but it's a lot bigger than I thought it is. The bad thing is, nobody cares. The show kicks off with RK Bro, and Randy Orton talks about Bobby Lashley. They tried to take the titles last week, but they failed miserably because Bobby Lashley is nothing but a greedy son of a bitch. He and Riddle are going to look at the 7 tag teams competing tonight and see which deserves to be defeated next. Riddle says tonight is going to be sick. And of course, he has some wild ideas, and Randy Orton is obviously annoyed by it. But the more the man talks, the more Randy Orton just can't control his laughter, which was actually pretty sweet. I honestly understand Riddle. Randy Orton is an absolute sweetheart. So what that he pooped in a few women's bags back in the day? Who didn't? I know that game. Lashley challenges Randy Orton to a one-on-one match. Orton says it's been 10 or 15 years since they actually faced each other. So what about you put that WWE Championship on the line? Lashley talked to MVP and he accepted the challenge at Extreme Rules. And we got the tag team turmoil. It was the New Day versus the Viking Raiders, in which the New Day won. Then it was Veer and Jinder Mahal, who also got eliminated by the New Day. Then it was the Lucha House Party, who also got eliminated by the New Day. Then it was Mace and T-Bar. They basically destroyed the New Day, and this ended in disqualification, or more like no contest. But don't you worry, the dream match is going to continue later. Sonya Deville says, we're not ending tonight like this. This match is going to continue in the main event of Raw. Yay. Thank you. So glad you said that. So glad you said that. Nah, I'm honestly excited. Like, really. Thanks, Sonya. I get it. RK Bro is the most entertaining thing on Raw. The problem is, none of the other tag teams are. Then we saw the #1 contenders match, Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Yes, that is exactly what I said. Not a contenders match, a #1 contenders match. What a crazy ass idea. Finally, WWE came up with something good. I know it took them a long ass time to do that, and I know it takes a lot of brains to come up with such an original idea, but thankfully they finally realized that, you know, it doesn't make much sense to defeat the champion only to get the title match. When you defeat the champion, you probably should get the championship. Now when it comes to the match, I wasn't super excited about it. We've seen that match so many times during the pandemic era, you know, it's not something I was too crazy about. Wasn't bad, the match was pretty okay. It's just that, you know, Raw is repetitive and, yeah. The finish was pretty cool. Drew was going for the Claymore, but we saw a roll-up and Sheamus won the match. I'm not sure what's going on with Drew McIntyre though. He smashes Sheamus with the mask and we saw a Claymore. The man is angry. Drew McIntyre acted like a sore loser. Out of character, but maybe that's the side of Drew McIntyre we need right now, because the man really needs to not necessarily change his gimmick, but kinda change up his act. The problem is, we're seeing Sheamus versus Damian Priest again. Not too crazy about it if I'm being honest. Back to the basics, championship contenders match. Natalya and Tamina Snuka versus Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ass. Yes, championship contenders match. They already forgot. That's okay. We don't have high expectations anyway, WWE. It's okay, don't you? No, I'm not trying to offend you. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. We knew it's gonna happen. We already knew it's gonna happen. And guess what happened? Obviously, the champions lost the match. Okay, this was absolutely ridiculous for so many reasons. We saw Moist TV. John Morrison was talking to Karrion Kross while John Morrison's music was playing the whole time. What? You should not put this man on Moist TV. It makes it look like a comedy segment where Karrion Kross is a lunatic and everyone in the audience is laughing at him. What's next for Karrion Kross? I'll hurt you. I'm gonna end you. What about a championship match? US title, WWE title, all of it. But I'm gonna hurt you. What? Seriously? So we saw the match, you know, a walking strap-on Karrion Kross versus Drip Drip Morrison. And of course, he basically, you know, destroyed John Morrison. He won the match. Doesn't help the situation. First of all, John Morrison should be facing The Miz. Should be in a rivalry against The Miz. Not quite sure what happened here. Also, John Morrison is a jobber, so the face turn didn't help at all. He could be used so much better. Karrion Kross just participated in a very goofy segment that is definitely not made for superstars like him, and he still looks like a dildo. And he won the match, but he still has no... he doesn't look legit. We saw a Raw Women's title match, Nia Jax versus Charlotte Flair. Did you guys notice that as I'm talking about this Raw, it gets progressively worse? And right now, is the moment that I would like to stop talking about it. But we saw the match, obviously wasn't good. For some reason, Shayna Baszler during the whole match disrespected Nia Jax and even caused her the match. We saw Alexa Bliss, she challenges Charlotte Flair to a match, and okay. And of course, the main event was the tag team turmoil match, the New Day versus Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, in which the New Day won. Then we saw the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos, in which AJ and Omos won. And the last match was AJ and Omos versus MVP and the WWE champion Bobby Lashley, which wasn't even that bad. And of course, MVP and Bobby Lashley won and earned the, Raw Tag Team Championship opportunity next week. Then Omos attacks Bobby Lashley, and once Bobby gets back to his feet, we saw an RKO out of nowhere, and that was your show. Was there anything on this show that was like legit good? I'm not saying kinda entertaining, okay, bearable, legit very good. Is there anything that you actually got out of this show? My expectations aren't that high in the first place when it comes to Monday Night Raw. We all know it's a bad show. But oh boy, are we watching the same show for like, it feels like 2 years now. So that was your Monday Night Raw. Jeff Hardy is buried. End of story. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.